Hi, everyone. Welcome to Easy Tarot Lessons. I'm Sally, and I am here with Sharon and Mandy and the Five of Cups.
Yay.
Yay, Five of Cups. So, Mandy, I know you love this card. Why don't you start us off?
Oh my God. I think one of the reasons that I have a big, deep affection for this card was when in my very, very early days of being a tarot reader, and I just about knew the card meanings, and I had this I had this really, really disappointing situation that happened in my own life that left me feeling very disrespected and underappreciated. It was a work related thing.
Hmm.
And I was just felt angry and upset. And I thought, I need to draw a tarot card. I'm just going to draw one tarot card and just, I'm just going to see what it has to say. And I drew the Five of Cups. And do you know, that card just sprang into life for me. It absolutely captured how I was feeling. It totally I just felt understood by this
Yeah.
card. And
That
that's
is so relatable. I
yeah,
mean, yes.
it was I just and just for somebody somewhere out in the ether understood me exactly, and I was able therefore to take on board the whole meaning of the card, not just the kind of like that I was so disappointed about the loss, because I'd put years and years of work and effort into this kind of this project and this line of work, and I felt it was just all kind of totally disrespected and disregarded.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like, then I started to look at the rest of the card, like the other two cups that the character isn't sort of looking at, and the bridge and the water flowing and kind of life goes on. And it's kind of like, just let it go, just forget it. What's done is done. This is
Mm-hmm.
telling you it's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
This is, but it's understanding how upset you are actually feeling. It's not belittling that in any way, but all is not lost. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I honestly felt like the tarot was my best friend. Like sometimes all you want is to be understood. And
Right.
that's why this Five of Cups is so special to me. I read this card in lots of different ways now. It's sometimes in reverse. I feel that the character has managed to let things go, and it is now kind of looking at what they still have. It's about gratitude, I think, in
Mm-hmm.
reverse, like looking at what you have got. And um sometimes it is saying, don't be forced into actually kind of like moving on. You need more time to grieve over what you've lost. I do see the sort of the sympathy side of this card very strongly, a lot, probably because of that personal um situation that I had with it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sitting
I
here
know,
nodding
I know
my head.
Yep.
Dusty doesn't approve of like one card readings, but at that particular moment in time, I didn't need any other card other than the Five of Cups. That was all I needed. It did absolutely kind of like get it all in that, just in that one instance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree with him about the one card readings, but on that occasion, yeah.
You touched on two things that I would really love to address if you don't mind, Sally.
Oh, go ahead.
The first, when you talked about how that card it had a brutal meaning, but you felt so completely understood. And you've got these tarot readers out there that try to sugarcoat everything and make it all prettified. If somebody had tried to prettify that card or say, "Oh, it's all going to be okay," and you didn't feel the depth of that despair through the
Mm,
card or through the reader, I think you would have felt cheated.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you'd seen that card and somebody interpreted it for you as all airy fairy, it would have taken a lot away. from that reading. You nailed it. Sometimes people just want to be understood.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is exactly it. Yeah.
So the sugarcoating going on in the world today, and oh no, you're not allowed to see anything bad in the tarot for whatever reasons. You're robbing the clients of that understanding of that. Oh my God, somebody sees me. So I'm so glad you said that, Mandy.
Yeah, yeah. No, it does mean a lot to me, this card. I'm really glad I got to be able to sort of tell that story about this card,
Yeah.
because I was honestly wounded to my core when I got this piece of news. I mean, as I say, it's a few years ago, and it really was years and years of work
Hmm.
and just kind of all belittled,
Mm.
all completely belittled, and it just got to me. And this card it just saved me. To be honest, it did.
Even though it
Mm.
showed that sorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love what you said about not being rushed to let things go, because a lot of tarot books say that, you're supposed to stop looking at the cups on the ground and open your eyes to what you still have. But today's society, and this happened recently. A friend of mine on Facebook, her husband died, and it wasn't 2 weeks after he had passed away that she had said something on Facebook about how depressed she was over it, because
Yeah.
she was expressing her sorrow. And three different people were like, "You're still upset about that? Get over it
Yeah.
already."
Right.
I
Oh my
was
god.
floored. It took everything in me not to just blast people to pieces. I did get my words in, but I was so mad.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And what you said, Mandy, I've never really explored that depth in this card. And I meant what I said. It really resonates with me because I've been in that situation, and how you stated it, it's perfect. And this card is perfect to describe that. I just never really considered it before. So I'm really glad you said that because
Oh,
it
thank
had depth for me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. No, it's an amazing card. I mean, obviously, because it had such a profound effect on me, my danger now is that it doesn't always mean that every
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And that's where we have to go next. And it's
yes,
really hard to follow that, Mandy, because that is so excellent. I feel like anything else that comes out of my mouth is like, yeah, it's kind of trite now. But
That is a
that's
powerful
good.
way of
Yeah,
expressing. And
yeah,
I
it is.
I like when somebody can identify a card to an event that happened to their in their lives, and in this one the card directly related to it.
yes,
But you can look at that card and you can actually see the loss you've experienced yourself.
mm,
Yeah, yeah. I could literally pick this up now, put it in a manifestation that I have sitting in front of me, turn it upside down, and move on. I think it's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You've done wonderful things. And yeah, but you're right, there has to be a mourning period. It may not be time to move on yet, but you have to get through that mourning period before you can see what's behind you.
yes,
Uh,
yeah,
I know I had an English teacher when I was young. Her husband passed,
Hmm.
and I saw her in the mall, and I went to her and I told her that I don't remember exactly what I told her, but I said something to the effect of the pain will never go away,
Hmm.
but the time doesn't make it easier, it just makes it easier to cope with. You learn
Right.
coping mechanisms. And she just busted out crying. She said everyone at the funeral kept saying, "He's in a better place, and time heals all wounds, and you'll feel better." And she wasn't at a point where she wanted to feel better.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
ready to hear that when you first lose something. You're not ready to hear, oh, you got more cups behind you, just turn around. You
Yeah. Yeah.
need to be able, that one person saying, it'll never get better, you'll just learn to cope with it. That,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the interesting thing about this, I think because of that experience that I had, like that wasn't about a death of a person. Do you know what I mean? It was to do with a kind of, it was a work situation, and it was
Yeah.
just to do with feeling that all my, like everything I'd put into something over a long period of time was completely and utterly belittled and disregarded. So
Yeah.
it was a loss of a different
Mm.
type of thing. It was
Yeah.
very personal, you
but
know.
it's
Well, that's
still
why
her. It was still the
yeah.
death of something.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why
Yeah.
I related to it too, Mandy, because
Yeah.
mine wasn't the death of a person. It was the death of a dream, and
Wow. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you look at that with this card and you can see that, and that's relatable across the board. It doesn't necessarily have to be the loss of someone. It can be the
No.
loss of something or
Yeah.
some opportunity or some dream or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
one of the things I'd like to point out too, and I know both of you know this, but we all have different levels of loss.
Mm-hmm.
And where you can't put it down because it wasn't the death of a person, or I'm not making it any less. If I'm 5 and I've never lost anything and my goldfish dies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that loss is going to hit me
Yeah.
Yep.
just as
Yeah. That's
bad
so.
as, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loss is loss, and no matter what you've lost, if it's personal and you've put that much into those cups and poof, gone.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what else, Sharon? I know we're sitting here talking about Mandy's experience because, man, that was really profound. But
Yeah, it was.
other than that, what else can you get from this card?
Well, one thing I had never ever considered before, and Paul asked me once, he said, "You think he kicked those cups over himself? You think he had
Oh.
a fit of rage and he might have kicked those cups over and now he's regretting it?"
Right?
Yeah,
Wow.
could be
Yeah.
And
regret.
yeah, there's something that backs that up. And I was just sitting
Yeah.
noticing this card, the face on this guy. You can see just a teeny bit of it, and the way it's striped, it's red. So either it's a fire, a sunburn, or embarrassment. So yeah, maybe he kicked him over and he's embarrassed about it. He did something silly and other people saw it. All of those things are possible with this card. It doesn't have to be this deep gothic mourning situation. It could just be, God, I can't believe I was so stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
either way. Or what was it? One time, one of the lessons Dusty's talking about, those cups fell over and he trekked all the way across the bridge to his castle and then trekked all the way back with his mourning cloak, and it could just be over dramatization.
Yeah, yeah. Drama queen, sure.
Yeah, but I definitely I've 90% of the time, not always, 'cause we learned that, but not all, but 90% of the time I just see deep, deep sorrow, despair.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is just accepting, like, if you literally take it like, because it's liquid that is has spilt from those cups, you can sort of see it there.
Hmm.
It's kind of basically gone. Do you know what I mean? Like that particular liquid cannot be put back in those cups to be drunk
Hmm.
again.
Hmm.
Um, you'd have to find different liquid. You'd have to replace it with something different. It is that it is gone. So it's accepting something is, you know, like that as past, is over, is gone.
Hmm.
It's yeah.
There's no point crying over spilt milk, Coffee.
Right, right.
No.
I when you were saying that, I'm looking at that and I'm like, what if this is like a Superfund site? What if this is contamination? What if the groundwater is poisoned, or, the ground is poisoned, or something like that? You could have a Chernobyl effect, or something like that. I could see
Oh,
that with this card too.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Never thought about it before, but you were sitting there talking
God,
and
it might be. Oh, thank God I didn't drink that.
yes, yes, that was a happy accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, blimey, that was close. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta point out that he does still have those two cups. But
Yeah.
he's either not ready to look at them, or he's so devoured by the loss in front of them that he can't look at them yet.
Yeah.
Or, it depends on which deck you have, of course, but the one I'm looking at right now, there's nothing in those cups.
Yeah, the deck I'm looking at, he's got some liquid in the cups, but I'm looking
Yeah,
at the original Rider-Waite, and they sure do look empty.
yeah.
Yeah. And also, actually, if you look at the original ones as well, it's like two of the cups, it almost looks like blood has come out of them.
Yes, yes.
Well,
And then the third is green, so either that's toxic waste or absinthe or wine.
absinthe. If I drunk that, I could forget all of this.
Right, right.
But if it is blood, all that blood and sweat you put into your endeavor, Mandy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aha. So there is another card with possible blood in it.
Yes, there you
Aha.
go.
I'll tell you the funny thing though, just to finish off the story, if I hadn't have had the tarot card, which actually soothed me so much, I just thought, whatever, it's over. Like I had my little mourning thing with it and my little grief, and I thought, no, it's time to move on and do something new. I am not going to dwell on this anymore, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I did let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I could have let that eat me up for weeks because I know what I'm
Yep,
like, all right?
yep.
And about 2 months later, I got an email from them saying, "Oh, yeah, here are some dates we would like you to do." And I thought, after all of that, and sending me this thing saying, "Oh, we're really sorry, we won't be using your services this year," they
Right.
sent me an email and sort of like gave me a whole load of work, and it was like I could have actually put myself through weeks and weeks of misery for nothing because
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
contract anyway. But
Right.
obviously, I didn't know that at the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh. And couldn't that have been a little mini meaning in that spread? Or that, the blit, 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 one card uh, that you just didn't catch, those other two cups behind him? Don't
Right.
worry. Don't worry, Mandy. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's there. You just don't
Right.
know
yeah,
it yet.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, my reading did not stretch to that. It went to sort of, don't worry, just let it go, don't dwell on it, just move on. All is not lost. Just move on. And then,
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, nothing had. I hadn't not got it after all. I never.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow, this card had a lot to say to us.
It did.
Anybody have anything else they want to add before we say goodbye for the day?
No.
I think my eyes have been opened so much with this card today, Mandy. Thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank you.
bringing
Yeah.
this. I just, we learn something new every time we study with somebody else. I don't know how often I can say that or how much I can underline it. Uh, get with somebody, study, because your eyes will be open just like mine are after. How many collective years do we have in tarot with us three?
Over 100.
Isn't that amazing? Three
Really?
people, 100 years of experience, and we're still learning new things every day. So, if anybody has any comments, they want to expand our full new understandings of ways to look at this card, feel free to leave us a comment. We love to get them. We read them all, and just go out there and practice. This is great fun, and you know. I thank you both for being here. This was a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.